everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video getting onto the Amazon tag, Amazon theme that seems to have been going around YouTube for a bit, looking at the top selling perfumes on Amazon in the UK and also in the US, and there are some interesting similarities and differences. If you're new here, then welcome. It's all about perfumes here, so if you're a perfume fan like me, do subscribe. I have new videos every week. I love reading your comments, so let me know in the comments your requests for videos, and I have hundreds of perfume videos already uploaded, so do check them out. I've reviewed most of the main, most popular perfumes by now. So I'm going to go down the top 10 ladies best-selling fragrances on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. So the UK ones were really interesting. So number one, top of the UK best-selling perfume in the whole of the UK is Vera Wang Princess. Now I think that this, yes, it's because of it being such a beautiful bottle and nice branding, but I think the price is definitely playing a part here. So for the 100ml, it's £17.95, so that is an absolute bargain for a quite fancy, high brand, beautiful perfume. Like if you're looking for a gift for someone, then they would never suspect that it was £17.95. You think it was at least 35, 45 pounds. The smell of this, if you're not familiar, is a kind of sweet vanilla, girly, quite young, innocent type smell. I've done actually a video all about the entire Princess range, so I'll leave that link for you guys. Next is one that I didn't expect to see here. So second was CK1. Now this of course is the famous unisex fragrance, came out in the 90s I think, and again I was surprised to see it here, but when I saw the price that kind of made sense. This was $20.99, so just a bit more than Princess, and I guess people are still wearing it from, you know, when they loved it back in the day when it came out. It is very safe, and being unisex and fresh and light and easy, then fair enough. But yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that it would be number 2 out of everything. Next is definitely one that I did expect to see, and that's Beyonce's Heat. Now these perfumes, I think for the Beyonce Heat range, are such good value for money, especially how popular and cool Beyonce is. To be able to get 100ml for £12.50 it is on Amazon is insane. These are the kind of things you can throw in your handbag. You don't feel bad about spraying loads. You can wear them day, you can wear them evening. They're very young, trendy fragrances, they're cool, and I totally get for £12.50 for a full size. Of course that's there. And interestingly, number 4 is Midnight Heat, which is a little bit sweeter, fruitier, more of a nighttime one, quite similar to Midnight Fantasy from Britney Spears, if you know that. Number 5, I'm not surprised by this, is Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely, one of the most successful celebrity perfumes. Even though Sarah Jessica Parker perhaps isn't that big anymore, Sex and the City days are long gone, this perfume has really stood the test of time. It's just pretty and nice, kind of like a fresh, musky, almost aromatic but not heavy at all, with the lavender in. It lasts quite well, especially for the price, and I hear a lot that people wear this for work because again, it's easy, you can just keep spraying, and it's very neutral, pretty feminine. I have the Born Lovely, which is a flanker in the range, and this is just such a genius perfume from her. Probably her main source of income is this perfume now. So next at number 6 is Calvin Klein's Eternity. Now I was surprised to see this here. It isn't something that you hear about that much these days. It's kind of, I thought it had kind of had its day, but to be so high up on the list, then there must be lots of people wearing this. When I worked selling perfume, people didn't ask for this that much, so it was more the men's Eternity they asked for, not the ladies. This is a very fresh perfume, lots of green notes, like being outside in a garden, freshly cut grass, fresh carnation flowers, so nice for sort of springtime, or if you like those green fresh notes. But I was surprised to see it here, though it is on at £16.99, so that might have something to do with it. Next, so funny that this is here, is Cerruti's 1881. Now my mum used to have this when I was a young child. I remember seeing it on her dressing table. This was probably before Coco Mademoiselle existed, which is what she wears now. And yeah, I guess so. This I associate very much with her, like childhood. She tells me that this was very popular back in the day, sort of in the 90s. It's a floral chamomile, mimosa, bit of rose, bit of like lots of flowers. To me, I think it's a bit dated now, but it had its moments. But again, it's $24.99, so very reasonably priced, and just probably like eternity, like CK1. There must be people that have been wearing this forever and they just reorder it, you know, on Amazon. Maybe they have it set up to be delivered like every month or something. Like people, I guess it's still a classic and it is still selling, which I didn't realize. Next, we have Youth Dew. This is coming in at number 8, and I was surprised by this because the people that used to buy this when I was working in perfume were of a older generation. I'm not saying it's an old perfume, but I'm just saying what I see. So I guess I don't really I associate people buying on Amazon with perhaps younger, but then actually when I think about it, if you are less mobile, or you know, if you live sort of in a sort of rural countryside, Amazon is so much more convenient than like going to find a Estee Lauder shop. So this is a super heavy perfume. You can tell by the liquid, the color of the liquid. Incense, heavy oriental cinnamon notes, super heavy, really like a syrup of treacly heavy. It's got loads of spices and cloves in as well, so it's quite sort of like an edible fragrance, but yeah, super heavy. Then at number 9 we have Midnight Fantasy, which I own from Britney Spears. This is such good value for money perfume. Like I said, quite similar to Beyonce's Midnight Heat, and you can get this at very reasonable price. It's sweet, it's fruity, it's kind of sexy, and you know, I'll spray like 10 sprays of this and not care because it's such good value for money. And then lastly at number 10 is Beyonce's Heat Wild Orchid. So she has 3 out of the top 10, which is pretty good going for Queen Bee there. This version Wild Orchid is perhaps a bit more summery, florally, pretty compared to Heat and Midnight Heat, which are a bit warmer. But you know, if you like if you don't mind that it's a celebrity perfume and you want something easygoing, I mean, get all 3, like why not? I'm leaving all these linked down below, by the way, so you can check them out. So let's move on to the US, to Amazon.com, and see how that differs from the UK in terms of those top 10 best-selling ladies fragrances. Now, I didn't really know what to expect here, and there are some similarities and some differences. The biggest difference, and the thing that took me by surprise, was the number 1 slot. So the number 1 perfume on Amazon was Ed Hardy's for women, which is something that's been out for a while. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice like fruity, peachy, mango-y fragrance, but crikey, to be number 1 in the whole of America, it must have such a bigger fan base than it does here in the UK, where you rarely see it sold, and you know, it wasn't on the list for .co.uk Amazon. So yeah, crikey, to be number 1, there's obviously something happening there in the world of Ed Hardy in America that I'm not aware of. But yeah, this is very fresh, grapefruit, apples, and like peachy, like really summery vibes, really nice. It is a great perfume, but yeah, so I was just so surprised. Next is Clinique Happy, that famous fresh perfume. I did a video all about the Happy range. When I saw this, I wasn't surprised, because whenever I go to America, the Clinique brand is so strong. Like, don't get me wrong, here in the UK we have Clinique in all the different department stores and everything, but it's kind of just another one of the brands. You know, you've got Estee Lauder, Dior, Chanel, and it's just like another one. Whereas I feel like in America, Clinique is much more like up there as one of the main most popular brands. They sort of seem to have a bigger area sometimes than other brands, so this does explain it. Number 3 is Elizabeth Taylor's White Diamonds. This is, I believe, the best-selling celebrity perfume of all time, so it's not surprising that it made it into a top 10. This is quite classic, but you can get it at really good prices. It's kind of a florally, white floral fragrance, but it has a sort of airy oceanicness to it, so an oriental floral, but yeah, sort of mix between floral and oriental, somewhere in between. So a bit of a fresher floral, but still quite heavy going and good for lasting, hence why it sells so well. So this doesn't surprise me at all. I did a video on her entire range and she's still rocking it from Beyond the Grave. Number 4 is the first one that's the same as the UK, and it's Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely. So she is smashing it in the US and the UK. And the same for number 5 is Vera Wang's Princess. So the UK number 1 is the US number 5. Number 6 is Happy Heart from Clinique. So this is a flanker from the Clinique Happy range. This one is like a zestier, more cucumbery version, much fresher version of Happy, if that's even possible, because Happy's pretty fresh. But yeah, this is like a bit more like a cucumber. It's kind of like a spa, especially if they put cucumbers on your eyes or in the products, a cucumber. It reminds you of that kind of spa type smell. So very, very, very fresh, very good for hot weather. Number 8 is Rihanna's Rebel Fleur. Not surprising, this is a great celebrity perfume. Sweet, heavy vanilla, good for lasting, good value for money, just like the Beyonce and the Britney and the Sarah Jessica Parker ones. These are the most successful celebrity perfumes because they last but are so cheap compared to mainstream perfumes. So I'm not surprised actually that in these top 10s we're not seeing your La Vie Belle's or your Chanel's, because the prices are just sky high, and I guess they don't have to sell as many as the celebrity ones because they're making such bigger margins. Next is a perfume that I actually haven't smelled, which is very rare, Jessica Simpson's Fancy Love, and that's because it's not sold here in the UK. So when I'm in America next up, I will try my best to try and check this out, but reading about it, it looks like it's a sort of fresh floral, slightly sweet perfume. So Jessica Simpson, not really that well known here in the UK, especially not nowadays. I used to watch her MTV shows, so Newlyweds, like the original reality TV, so I know all about her, but she's not a big name really here, so that's probably why it's not sold here. And then finally, number 10 in the US chart, someone who is a big name, is Ariana Grande's fragrance, Sweet Like Candy, and this is a sweet fragrance, don't get me wrong, this is sweet. Sugar, whipped cream, vanilla, like super, super sweet. I did a video all about Ariana's perfumes, and I'm surprised this wasn't in the top 10 in the UK as well, because they are popular here and she is huge here. She's probably one of, if not the biggest singer in the world right now, maybe up there with Taylor Swift. I wonder which Taylor Swift would do more perfumes. But yes, I'm not surprised that's there, and I'm surprised there weren't, it wasn't higher, if anything. So yeah, so let me know if you wear any of these, what surprised you, what did you expect to see that wasn't here. Of course, the top 10 list, I guess, changes all the time, so this is just like a snapshot in time. But that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching. Do subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.